Hi, it's Majo John Madden in Los Fresnos. The Los Fresnos Walmart, where we have spent look at that moon. Where we have spent so much time over the last couple of months. Had some difficult experiences here. Car towed, homeless for 8 days. That was tough. But we got through that and it worked out. And it has just seemed like everything's been upwards and upwards since then. Not that we haven't had some tough experiences, but things are just seeming to fall into place. And a lot of that happened today. Some final pieces fell into place where it's looking like we have appointments in 3 different towns through Wednesday that should get us all shaped up to start our trip to Mexico. We've got money in our pockets after weeks of being really broke. And it's looking very possible that we'll still have some significant money in our pocket when we cross into Mexico. And my itinerary is shaping up really great. I've been really creative. Had an awesome encounter with a woman today that led to a terrific TikTok video called Take Your Shot, or Take the Shot, something like that. Then the drive here from Weslaco was kind of long. It was about an hour drive, but it was perfect time of day. Our primitive air conditioning is opening the windows because we've never had air conditioning in this car. And that was great. The temperature was great. I didn't mind the whistling of the wind. It meant that my speaker just wasn't quite powerful enough to jam the great Latino music, and periodically I turned it off because we couldn't really hear it. But one of our last stops in McAllen is going to be a place that for a couple $100 could get my stereo in the car working really good for the first time. So all that. We stopped just on the outskirts of Los Fresnos at truly the magic hour with the light perfect. And Magic just wanted to cross this big street. I couldn't see anything interesting on the other side, but I put him on the leash and helped him get across, no problem. And it turned out there was a great irrigation ditch there. We love to walk along those. And it flushed out a great blue heron, one of our favorite birds that we haven't seen since South Padre Island. So it's been a while since we've been to the ocean, and we're missing that because the ocean means so much to both of us, I would say, me maybe especially. So after that spectacular walk along the irrigation canal, as the light started to fade, I started to have these misgivings inside. I felt like something might go wrong tonight. And in the hour or so since then, that's the lens through which I've been looking at my environment. We got here, our parking spot over the opposite side of the building is as ideal as any we've been at. Perfect for Magic getting out of the car and running into this huge field. And he did that immediately when we got here because he knows it so well. And he's out there somewhere right now. In this light, I can't see him. But he makes a big loop around there, comes back this way, and he will. I'm not really worried about that. But about 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, I labeled it. I named it. I saw what it was. I had this extraordinarily flirtatious experience with this woman that led to a really fun TikTok video based on it. And I genuinely liked her an awful lot and would love it if she would come to Cozumel, but I'm almost sure she won't. And then the great blue heron. I had, after a 10-year, very immature marriage, the big love of my adult life was Jennifer for 4 years. And it was stormy and wonderful and love like I've never known. Well, the blue heron was her totem animal. It was her email address, and I always think of her when I see them. And she and I had never had a face-to-face encounter fall of last year when I was in Chicago, but 2 pretty spectacular phone calls that left that relationship in a good place. I've had stirrings to reach out to a couple of old friends that I haven't talked to for a long time that I think would really welcome the call. But it's loneliness. It's loneliness. It's my bugaboo. It's the shadow side of 3 years on the road, mostly places where I don't know anybody. And the great unknown, Mexico. The old friend of mine that we're gonna rendezvous with in Cozumel, when I finally did make contact with her a month ago by text messages, was cool is maybe too strong, but not excited. There was no, she doesn't share any of my excitement about seeing each other again. I mean, she's happily married, so I'm not looking for anything like that, but I kind of wanted more animation. So I'm sagging. It's the shadow side of being as happy as I was this afternoon. I thought, oh, maybe it's that you've got this old thing that you always wait for the other shoe to drop, that when you're so happy, something's got to go wrong. It's the old Catholic kid in me, maybe. But it really isn't that. It's that after the dancing is over, after the great music and the great drive and the great walk are over, yeah, I'm going to sleep in a camper van with a dog, you know. And I have notions. I teased all afternoon, as I have so often, about finding some Latina senorita down in Mexico. And who knows? Who knows? It happens. It happens. But I'm not interested in settling down, which is the tricky part. Who's going to be happy with a contract that is not monogamous? Because I can't offer monogamy and wouldn't want to. Have no interest in that. So the challenge, one of the major challenges of my whole life, has been to just sit with the downside. Just sit with sadness. Just sit with emptiness. Sit with loneliness. And I'll have a chance to do that tonight. And a bunch more nights, probably. Meanwhile, my dog will come back at some point, and we'll have a happy reunion, which we always do. I always give him a hero's welcome for coming home. And I've got some great leftovers and some great drinks. Oh, and I scored a 4-pack of one of my all-time favorite Imperial Stout beers, bourbon barrel aged. That's the sweet spot for me. In Weslaco, there's a liquor store where I had found that, and I was looking forward to buying another 4-pack, and it'll last me at least 4 nights. So I got that. Sigh. But I have all this. I have life. And it is a great trade-off. It's a great trade-off. It's hard to beat. How can you carp about an unbelievable relationship with life, the life force, nature, most of the people I encounter, but then doesn't make the loneliness go away. Night.